I'm interested in the trends about jewelry because we kind of mentioned like fashion, it's very fleeting. And although jewelry, it's stays in trend, I guess, for a lot longer. But I would say that engagement rings at the moment, for example, I see a lot of them like that oval clear diamond on the gold band. Beautiful. But I'm like I've noticed that as a trend. And I don't know
Yeah.
if I've just tuned in because a lot of my contemporaries are getting engaged, so I'm more aware of it. Or like are there always trends that go through and how can you combat that when you're spending several £1,000s on an engagement ring? You don't want it to go out of fashion or look dated.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the oval colourless diamond on thin gold band is all down to Hailey Bieber, the ultimate
Is she the
trendsetter.
one
We
that
love her.
started it? Because Molly
Yeah,
May has got one as well.
true,
Yeah.
true. But I really think universally there was such big hype after Hailey had hers.
Mm.
I honestly think hers must be about 5 or 6 carats. It's huge. Um, it's just nuts. But I think it's really hard to kind of combat the trends if you're not that into jewelry, if you don't really wear jewelry that often, because you will just kind of see what's right at the moment. And if you're just popping into jewelry stores, you'll see what's cool and kind of trending. But I think it kind of goes back to that element that jewelry is so personal and you really need to look at what you love and what you wear and what you think will still look good eventually. I mean, you can always reset a ring, a diamond, or a gemstone. So it's not the end of the world if you hate it. I've had so many inquiries about that actually. Lots of like 2010s halos. So a diamond with like a kind of pave diamond halo around it. A few clients have got in touch to see if they can reset those. But I think just if you're unsure and you don't have a really strong sense of style or self-style, do something that's quite traditional that hasn't gone out of style. So
Mhm.
a trilogy, a solitaire, a 5 stone ring, just something really kind of elegant, and then you can always jazz it up with an eternity ring or a wedding ring.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And what is your personal style in jewelry? If you like, did you design your own engagement ring yourself?
I did, yeah. Um, So, how to describe my own personal style? I think also a really good tip when thinking about what you'd want for an engagement ring is create a Pinterest board or a mood board of some sort, and you really need to sit on it and see what keeps coming back. Keep swapping it out for new things that you like, and keep editing that board until the right thing comes around. So when I was designing my own engagement ring, I was slightly overwhelmed because I was like, this needs to be amazing. Like, this can't be a flop. I was like, I need to love the best engagement ring.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure at all. And my poor husband, because I mean, he knew what to do. I basically told him to propose with some sort of other ring and then we'd design it together. So he actually got me to design my proposal ring, which was this like little eternity ring. And he got a friend to commission it without me realizing, which at the time didn't seem strange because I've done quite a lot of his friends' rings. But it was a bit shady. And then when I dropped this off to his friend, he went into like extreme detail about his own proposal, which and I was hyping him up for it. It was such a funny experience. And then that weekend, my husband proposed to me with this ring. I felt like such a mug.
Did you not catch
Really,
on? Were you totally taken in by it?
no, the man deserves an Oscar. I it makes me sound really thick, but I was doing some kind of investigative work. I can't even say that word. I was doing some like digging into what um was going on because the beginning I was like a bit unsure, but he kept sending me like photos of his girlfriend being like she'll never know and like went into real detail about what was going to happen. So anyway, then
Hiding
we
in plain sight. Just
I
hiding
know
behind.
it's so obvious. I felt really silly, but it was a great surprise. So then I kind of went back to the drawing board, and obviously I'm always looking at different rings for work anyway. And this style of ring always kept popping up. So when I went to make a mood board, because I really treated myself like a client, I went to make a mood board to see what I would want, started from scratch. And this ring kept popping up, and I was like, no, 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 like let's try and see what else is out there. And I kept coming back to this one, which is very similar to Angelina Jolie's ring. And when I told that to my fiance at the time, he was like, of course, that is so ridiculous that you want Angelina Jolie's ring, which is like 6 carats. It's 3 times as big as mine. But we kind of took inspiration from that and built on it. And I knew I wanted something a bit more sleek. So I don't know if you can see this, but we went
Mhm.
for an emerald cut and baguettes just because I preferred the kind of sleek lines of that.
Mhm.
And I also, this is quite random, I really like fluted glass things, like corrugated glass. Do you know what I mean when I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
So that's what I wanted the kind of side diamonds to look like.
Oh, cool.
So they're super thin. There's 22 of them.
That sounds so fiddly.
I know, my poor jeweler,
Yeah.
the setter.